Recently, McLaren unveiled the modified livery intended for the upcoming 2024 Formula One season. And while the actual appearance of their new car is still a mystery, statements from team principal Andrea Stella hint at the prospect of a much more competitive vehicle for the upcoming season. This is massive news for the team, but also for their rivals in Ferrari and Mercedes, and potentially even Red Bull. So what can we expect from McLaren come the new season? In 2024, McLaren produced one of the biggest comebacks in F1 history, which has set the bar high for the upcoming 2024 campaign. The sheer confidence with which they launched their 2024 livery demonstrates how good it was after its early summer upgrade plan came into reality in 2023, and those 9 podiums plus sprint win and pole. And it also highlights just how far McLaren has come since that downbeat car launch last year, with a package that was behind its desired development curve and indeed initially performed poorly in the early phase of last season. In revealing just a livery for what we know now will be called the MCL38, as McLaren returns to the numbering system used before 2023's MCL60 was named in celebration of the 60th anniversary of the team's founding. But skipping the unused MCL37, the orange team is already doing something else differently, and this is more a Red Bull methodology for the time of year, although McLaren has at least had the good grace to call a livery launch exactly that, and not pretend a colour scheme tweak draped on a show or old car represents a new machine. By holding back showing the MCL38's launch specification until 14th of February, when McLaren will reveal its new challenger, but without a media launch event, two things are occurring. The first is that the team is deliberately moving to grab attention earlier than most teams have in recent years. This gives them and their glut of new sponsors a marketing boost ahead of what again will be a crowded early to mid-February car launch period. And that has become so because of the other element to McLaren's split launch approach. This is highlighted by team principal Andrea Stella, explaining it is pushing everything last minute to the limit in terms of building the first 2024 Challenger, but then he added that everything is going according to plan. Stella was speaking alongside McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown in the futuristic lecture theatre built into the subterranean parts of the sprawling McLaren Technology Centre, which goes far deeper under the Surrey countryside and away from its famous wind tunnel emissions cooling lake. The confidence was similarly flowing through the whole event. I'm feeling confident. I think all the men and women at McLaren have done a fantastic job in the off-season. Of course, there will be a continued development with the car, so we're not done. We're just done with our launch spec car. Expect a continued improvement over the course of the year. Clearly, we want to continue to close the gap to the front. I think we finished up last year as the second or third quickest team, depending on which circuit you are at. Both Norris and Piastri exhibited moments of exceptional driving throughout the season. Notable instances include Norris's impressive defense against Lewis Hamilton at Silverstone and Piastri's outstanding sprint victory in Qatar. These highlights underscore the individual skills and prowess of each driver. The 2023 season highlighted that among all the teams, McLaren stands out with drivers possessing significant potential. There is a strong indication that this trend will continue into the upcoming 2024 season. Norris, now 24, has honed his skills to masterful levels, and a race win appears inevitable. Meanwhile, Piastri's debut season stands out as the most impressive rookie performance since Hamilton's debut in 2007. However, competing at the top level introduces an additional layer of pressure, and managing two competitive drivers can be challenging. The amicable partnership between Norris and Piastri may face strains under the pressure of competition. It becomes a point of consideration for Zak Brown and the team management to monitor and navigate this potential challenge. Stella wants Lando Norris to focus on his dependability in terms of qualifying performances, but also consider how Max Verstappen is really establishing new standards in terms of how consistently you can perform strongly. Oscar Piastri needs to take another step after his very impressive rookie offering. Then McLaren has also upgraded their staff with 2 new additions to the McLaren Technology Centre, or MTC, which are Rob Marshall and David Sanchez, both of whom bring valuable experience from their roles in championship-winning teams. Marshall, formerly the Chief Engineering Officer at Red Bull, has been appointed as the Technical Director of the Engineering and Design team at McLaren. His tenure at Red Bull, starting in 2006, earned him recognition for his capabilities, with Red Bull's Christian Horner acknowledging McLaren's acquisition of a significant asset. Joining Marshall in the technical team is David Sanchez, a former Ferrari engineer. Sanchez entered Formula One in 2005 with Renault during the successful years of Fernando Alonso. In 2007, he transitioned to McLaren, contributing to the development of the McLaren MP423 that played a crucial role in Lewis Hamilton's championship win. After a decade at Ferrari, starting in October 2012, Sanchez returned to McLaren as the technical director of car concept and performance. Both Marshall and Sanchez, on gardening leave until January 1st, officially joined McLaren at the start of the year. While their contributions will be more evident in the middle of the season due to the delayed start, their wealth of experience positions them as valuable assets for McLaren's engineering and design endeavours. Meanwhile, Stella shared some more details regarding McLaren's new car, including why they should avoid the same fate as 12 months ago and the potential that's still to be unlocked in the development direction they switched to. So far, I have to say we don't see the diminishing returns, he said, of McLaren's development outlook for 2024 following last year's surge. This obviously will have to be proven once we put the car on the ground. When it comes to the wind tunnel development, the CFD development, we see that the gradient we established last year that led to the Austria development and then the Singapore development, it seems like we can maintain it. That's also where I would expect the launch car to be at the start of the season, and we are already starting to work on the further developments that we hope to bring relatively soon in season, and they also seem to be quite interesting. I would say in terms of the regulations themselves and in terms of the development we are having specifically at McLaren, we are seeing that kind of linear gradient of development can be maintained. This leads us to the next very important part of McLaren's 2024 season, which is the car itself. In 2023, McLaren orchestrated a remarkable surge in performance, transforming the MCL60 from an underachiever to arguably the second fastest car on the grid. The car excelled in medium to high-speed corners, strategically aligning with the nature of circuits on the calendar. Notably, the team reaped the rewards at high-speed tracks like Silverstone and Austria. However, possessing a strength in a specific area does not guarantee a championship, as exemplified by the RB19's excellence across various conditions. The MCL60 serves as a solid foundation for McLaren, but to contend with Red Bull's formidable competition, they must create a more versatile car for the 2024 season. Reading between the lines, and McLaren's current position is clearer. Everything it is seeing in its data suggests the MCL38 is already a step forward compared to the MCL60, but it cannot know how any gains relate to the opposition. That's always a launch season theme, but it explains why even when asked for the stated targets in 2024, neither Stella nor Brown put up a specific desired Constructors' Championship finishing position. McLaren ended up 4th last year, having at times been a blend of 9th quickest to 2nd quickest over the course of the campaign, as Brown put it in an interview in Las Vegas last November. The upcoming year holds significant potential for McLaren. If 2020 hinted at change, 2023 delivered it for the Woking-based team, and after a prolonged absence from title discussions, their performance in the previous season rightfully places them back in contention. While Red Bull may initially have an an advantage, McLaren appears to be one of, if not the best positioned teams to challenge the Milton Keynes outfit. The 2024 season could mark a monumental year for McLaren, and their ability to create an all-round competitive car will be pivotal in the championship battle. What do you think? Can McLaren bounce back and compete against primarily Ferrari and Mercedes, and then even against Red Bull? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.